So I just finished the second one, Light 2, and this one was interesting to do because I really don't want to offend people, but at the same time, I don't want to lie either. Um, and I've never really enjoyed living in Ballarat. Not that, okay, maybe enjoy is not the right word. I always had a thing against the fact that I was so far away from my friends and my family, and I never really connected with the place. And it's growing on me, and probably by the time I leave, I'll really like it. But so that's why I decided to draw Ballarat and the university. And it was quite interesting. I was drawing it. Some people were like, "Oh, is that Venice?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I wish." But it's a whole fact of the perception of what you actually have in place has a real effect upon your your experience there. So really, maybe if I'd had a better positive attitude towards it, my experience here would have been different. And it was also um, the building I chose was where my studios are, so it's the actual university. And because the experience of studying art is interesting because you can't really, in my opinion, mark art. Like, especially like the way art's going is a lot of it's very conceptual. It's all about progress. And everything's different and everyone's so unique and it's being marked and it's very strangling as an artist to know that what you're thinking and all these things that you're putting out is someone's putting a mark onto it and it really affects the way you produce your art and stuff. And sometimes it's a positive thing, sometimes it's a negative thing. Some people strive under that and some people don't. And so on top of the building universe, I wrote down like, because you always have so many things you have to do by week one and so many things you have to do by week two. And really what it came down to is the way I was feeling. And I just felt so pressured and I just felt so stressed. I just didn't enjoy art anymore. And all these things that were going through my mind, it was just, I just wanted it to be over. And I didn't want to quit because I was so close to the end, but I'd lost the passion that I once had for it. And a lot of that reason had to be because my first idea and concept, I had to go through an ethics committee and it just took all the fun of it. And I wanted my artwork to involve more people, but that turned out to be quite hard as well because when you involve people, you've got to work with them. And not that I don't want to work with people, but it's still my artwork and I suddenly lose a lot of the control, a lot of the concepts and ideas that I wanted to do on that. So I ended up scratching that whole idea and not going for the ethics committee, and then suddenly I get approval but I already changed my idea anyways, and it's still I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I pasted those and ripped those up on the canvas as well, just to say I'm so over this and so sick of it. But towards the end of when it came to week 8 and all those things, I just, instead of being bitter towards the whole process, I tried to be like, let go, just enjoy the time you have here because I don't know what I'm doing next year, but right now I am studying art and really it's a privilege that my majority of my time gets to be spent on doing art. And so I just want to enjoy that for whatever it's worth and whatever that means for the moment. And that's why at the end of it, after I've written all those things, I did the whole thing with Pollock strip paintings and stuff. And I know no one else can do a Pollock, only he can. But it's the fact that I knew who Pollock was before I went to university, but I didn't know his concepts and his ideas. And knowing about Pollock and led me to Rothko, who, if anyone knows my work, I'm in love with him and I can't stop talking about him. But and Pollock's way of being expressionist to me led to performance art and the way that art should be, and involvement with the work and a movement towards it. I never would have learned those things if I didn't go to university. I never would have had those times to read those things and explore those things. And so even though there's this strangling thing and this oh my God, I don't know how I'm meant to just keep pushing out these works that people are getting marked. And I keep having to come up with new ideas, new ways to do these ideas. And everything I do is being marked. And to me, it's never good enough. And it's just really stressful. At the same time, I never ever would have had that experience to learn all these things. So I'm really grateful for that. So it's kind of like, I hate your university, but I'm really grateful. So that's what Light 2 is about. And I guess the reason to me, it still ties in the whole fact that at the end it doesn't matter because, whether you pass or if you don't, or whether you get good grades or you don't, or you continue to study after this, at the end, it's just time. And at the end, again, what really matters is living in the moment and enjoying it because you never know when that lights up. So yeah, that's that.